Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting Radio. EB Radio. EB Radio. Your station for empowerment presents Mom Boss Talk Radio, a show that brings real life, real moms, and real experiences to empower mom bosses everywhere to be ambitious, highly driven, fierce, fabulous, and fearless. Mom Boss Talk Radio begins now.
Welcome, mom bosses all over the world. It's another amazing Thursday, and that means it's time for another great discussion. Okay, I'm one of your hosts, Manietta, and Jerisha should be joining us in future episodes. Today, we're going to be talking about social media. Well, not fully, but I love Instagram. Okay, I love me some Instagram, and right now TikTok has got me in a choke hold, honey. Okay, a definite choke hold if you cannot say it. Okay, so, but there is one platform I'm on it, but I don't say anything. I go on and I just glance and then I just dip out, and it's Twitter. Okay, Twitter, something about Twitter. I'll probably be deleting it later, but sometimes, even though Twitter can be like really crazy, sometimes you have people on there that drop some really good gems. And I happened to find a post, and I got this post off of, Pinterest. And it was saying something that I really feel like people need to really understand when it comes to growth and doing better and trying to find yourself. Is stop needing your family and friends to agree with your goals before you pursue them. And when I saw that, I'm like, of course, it sounds very simplistic. It sounds like very straightforward, but a lot of people need that type of validation. And sometimes it's hard to break when you're so used to that type of, that need. And so I'm like, what can we do, or what can I do to kind of to help people kind of pass through that type of, because when you really think about it, wouldn't you kind of say it's kind of self-sabotaging or self-destructing? However you want to put it, you're hurting yourself by allowing others to kind of sway your path. Right? Especially if you have something set in your heart, set in your mind, and you really want to do it, and you just want people to be proud of you. You want people to, support you. And, unfortunately, there's a lot of people in this world that does not have that type of support. And I can understand just that little ounce of just a smile or glance your way, knowing that you're doing great, is very important. But at the same time, we should always look at that outside validation as bonuses versus it being the only way to push towards your goal, right? So I came across this, and I'm on Pinterest, honey. So I came across this, it's like a chart to kind of help with emotions and pushing toward your goal and not really allowing others to infiltrate what you're feeling at that moment, to kind of dictate what you should be feeling. We should be ultimately we should be our own validation at the end of the day. That's what we need to do as individuals. And if you are if you listen to a plethora of our episodes, we really are huge on, mental health, self-awareness, empowerment, support. That's what we're about. And the stability of your emotions is a major factor in that, right? And I thought it would be a good thing to, just to give some type of insight when it comes to that, because it kind of all encompasses in one, right? When you're feeling any type of emotions, especially when you're trying to go towards your goals and trying to, elevate, sometimes the emotions you're carrying can be very confusing, and you want to give up because you're not getting the support that you want, and your self-worth is not as high as you would like it. And so a lot of people kind of just ignore themselves, and just give up. But we really need to observe our emotions. Um, it's the present emotion that you're feeling, right? And you need to step back and get unstuck from the emotion that you're feeling, right? You need to listen to yourself. Ultimately, you need to listen to what's going on. Sit in it. Sit in it. And this is what's on the list. I think is a very amazing list that was constructed. It's kind of like observing your emotions, experiencing your emotions fully. Remember, you are not your emotions, and practice respecting and loving your emotions. And I think that's like top tier advice for owning who you are and what your purpose is, and not allowing anyone around you to kind of navigate, right? You are the driver of your own destiny. You're the driver of your own goals, your ambitions, and all of that jazz. And we don't want to, you know, we don't want to push that away, just because someone else may feel different than you. And I think that's a lot of people go through that, because you want to do something so bad, but then someone doesn't agree or think it's right for you. Who are they to tell you what is best for you, right? Because you you know what you want, you know what you need, you know what you know all of this. They're not in your head, so they're only getting bits and pieces of what you may tell them, right? Um, Now, if it's something that's self-destructing, of course, I would always, I wouldn't say always go with what they say, but if they're willing to support you and to get you out of the self-sabotaging mindset that you have, that's great. But we're talking strictly about goals and everything that kind of surrounds growth in yourself. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean businesses. It could be just going to school or figuring out if you want to go to school, with just life in general. Because everybody is not built to have a business. Everyone is not built to do that. And that's okay. And we've prefaced this over and over again. Even though we're mom bosses and a lot of us are entrepreneurs and a lot of us are trying to have multiple streams of income, because that's what we see for ourselves. That's not for everybody. Okay. It's not for everybody. So let's put that out there. It's not for everybody, but being emotionally in tune is for everybody, right? You want to accept who you are in the moment that you're in. And you need to evaluate what you need to evaluate everything that um you need to evaluate everything that you're going through. You need to make sure that no matter what place you're in, that you're fully in tune with yourself. Okay. Another thing, it says, like, um experience your emotions fully as a wave coming and going. Okay. Try not to block the emotion. Try not to push the emotion away. Don't try to keep the emotion around. Don't try to increase the emotion. Just be a witness to your emotion. That is very deep. And I think that is very, very simplified. It's very, how it's put is so strong, but simple. But I know that it's hard for a lot of people to do that. And believe me, when I find a post, I be trying to implement things into my life to make my life a little easier. Even with its meditation, with exercises and things like that. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna do what I need to do when I need to do it. Okay. But if you allow those emotions to come and go, but also not blocking them, but also not pushing them away. So you have to you have to understand your emotions. See, for me, okay, so a little talk. Okay, so with me, I know my shift, right? So I know when my emotions and my mood shifts, and I physically can feel it. And that's when I have to step back from everyone, because I don't necessarily like being in certain moods around other people. I don't want to take my certain mood, either be anger, sad. I don't want to take any of that out on anyone. Even if it's just a little snappy remark or things of that nature. I feel bad. So I understand my emotions, and I know when to step back, and I know when to kind of start. And I'm over analytical. That's that's me. And I analyze, okay, why am I feeling like this? Okay, what could be causing X, Y, and Z? What can I do to calm my nerves, or da da da? And a lot of times it's stress related, and some physiological things as well. I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but a lot, for the most part, it's stress related. I do a lot of things. I'm always on the go. So I can understand why my mood will shift, and I can feel it. It's crazy when you can feel it. It's like I'm morphing. It's really weird, but I'm happy that I can acknowledge it, and I know what it is, right? Also, and then it also says you are not your emotion. Okay, do not act on the sensation of urgency. Remember when you have felt different. Describe your emotions. Okay, notice other feelings that you have at the same time and feel the strong emotion. I like that. I absolutely like that. That you are not, when you're in a state where you feel like your emotions just run over because you're doing so much, or you're not hitting certain goals. Remember that you are not that emotion, right? You are not that emotion. You will get past it. And not saying that emotion's not gonna come back. Okay, emotions be coming crazy. Like, it's like one of those racetracks. They be coming around. No true breaks. Okay, for me anyway. But when they come, you know what to expect. And okay, what can I do to kind of, deal with this properly? And we don't want to let our emotions have us making decisions that are irrational, and then letting other people push us towards a decision that we know if we weren't in that emotional state we wouldn't have made, right? So that's why I always step back. I don't like being around many people when I'm in certain moods, or my emotions change, because I don't want to be influenced, because I know my head is not thinking how I need it to think, right? And then practice respecting and loving your emotion. Don't judge your emotion. Practice willingness with your emotion. Radically accept your emotion. And that's acceptance. Accepting your emotions, respecting your decisions, and not allowing other people to push and mold and put you in this bubble that you are not meant to be in. Everything kind of goes hand in hand. It's encompassing, okay? It's crazy when I was just like connecting the dots of, wow, emotional instability, wanting people to love on me. And it's like, if they really wanted to love on me, they would love on me without me asking to be loved on, right? And, seeking validation to make myself feel better, in the long run, it's not really going to make me feel better. It's not. Your self-validation is what you bring to the world, what you creativity, your, oh my goodness, words, your creativity, your brilliance, your talent, your sharpness, you're just everything. And you put that out there. You don't need anybody else to tell you who you are, what you are, when and where and how. No. You definitely have this in the bag. You don't need nobody else's validation. Anybody else's, emotional state into your life that's positive, that is bonus. Think of that as a bonus. Everything that you do on your own, that is the top tier. And anything else after that, that's a bonus. That's how I always see it. That's how I always explain it. I'm happy with the little wins, the big wins. I get so excited. I treat myself like those little mini validations of myself, the treats that I get. I talk to myself. I say how great I am, that you did a great job. I talk to myself. I look myself in my face. Okay, get a mirror. Look at you and tell you that you're doing great. That's the validation you need. And whatever emotions that are coming behind that, to feel that everybody else's words are worth more than your own, stop it. Just stop it. Those positive words and things of that nature are bonuses. Do not let somebody else's validation stop you, or the non-validation stop you from reaching your goals. And sit in your emotions, okay? Get your emotions together. Get yourself together. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was great. I think it encompasses a lot. I think it brings everything together full circle. You don't need anyone else to agree with your goals. As long as you are trying, as long as you are reaching, and even if you don't reach them, that's okay. Go down your other path. You have plenty of paths to go down. You don't just have one. You have plenty, and you go down there. Okay, and anything else, like I stated before, will always be a bonus. And remember to always love yourself and sit in your emotions, understand your emotions, and mental health is very critical. We must bring awareness so that everyone can feel safe and secure in themselves, so that way they can love everyone around them. So I'm very happy that you tuned in. I hope you got some insight from this. I'm a Pinterest girl. I love me some Instagram. I love all the things. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. We are mom bosses on a mission, okay, to empower moms all over the world. So remember to be ambitious, highly driven, fierce, fabulous, and fearless. You are making moves. You got this.
Thank you for joining us on Mom Boss Talk Radio. Follow each of the Mom Bosses on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you love Mom Boss Radio, visit the website at www.envisionedbroadcasting.com. We'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time.